Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, April 18th, and I'm here for my weekly cross-stitching update, 2022, I guess I should say. Yeah, I have a good amount to show today and a little bit of plans. I didn't get everything I had hoped to accomplish done this past week, but that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. Let's dive right in. I got a little bit of stitchy kindness, I guess, past the stash from Shelly. I got to meet up with Shelly. It's Only Stitching here on Flosstube on Saturday, and we didn't actually stitch at all. But we got to meet in person for the first time since before COVID, so yay! Just chatting, and I was in a town close to her for a track meet for my son, so she met me at the track. And we got to watch him race, and then we went out to lunch. So it was nice. No stitching. We got to do a little bit of show and tell with the few projects that we brought with us, but it was still nice. And she had some leftover, not leftover, but some fabric in her stash from Hobby Lobby. It's old. It's likely the MCG Textiles light blue even weave that I am doing Dragon Ride on by Therese Wensler, and the touchdown football piece I did for my son a little while ago. It's finished now. I still need to frame it, but so yay, I will definitely use that. This just screams, let's start another full coverage. So thanks, Shelly, for that. And she also gave me this cute little book of stickers, Cats in Art. So that's really cute. There's like just a bunch of cute little stickers in here. I'll have to put a few in my planning book. I haven't actually stickered up my April yet, and it's already over half done. So there's that. But hey, I can put one of the kitty stickers next to our meetup yesterday, because there wasn't, not yesterday, this weekend, because I didn't really stitch a lot that day. So there's that. Oh yeah, and I also have some stuff to show from the Fat Quarter Shop, because they are doing a mystery stitch along in May, which they usually do. It's going to start at the next Friday, April 29th, and it'll have 5 different parts. This year, I should be able to do it as a mystery with everybody else. I think they offered to send me the whole chart if I wanted it, but ahead of time, you know, so I could show you guys finished parts as they're released. But I like the mystery aspect of mysteries, so I'm going to opt to just stitch with everybody. And I think that'll be fun. So, they sent me the supplies to do mine, but they also sent me a second set for you guys. So I will show you everything, and then I'm going to do a quick little giveaway. And since it starts on Friday, I'm hoping if I draw the winner next Monday and I get it out right away, you might be able to start it on Friday with these supplies. So, US only for this, because there's some bulky things in here. So, and I think it's called Summer Home, and I don't know if I think I only have one page of this. So this is the teaser. They just have the border so far, and it's called Summer Home. So I think if you use the word summer in your comment, I will enter you for this, and please US only. And so it's not that big, which is why I agreed to do it. I like summer colors, and it's probably got a house in it because it's called Summer Home. So hopefully it won't be too much work, but potentially I can maybe put some specialty stitches in the house if it's got a big chunk of solid color. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But it's 98 by 98. So I figured I could do that. Spread out over 5 weeks, and little mysteries keeps it interesting. And I'll probably do it for like bonus stitching throughout May, since I'm gonna do Knitting Woman as kind of my focus piece in May. As I mentioned last week, this can be my bonus stitching in May to keep caught up on it. And I think that should work. So my plan for May is to not start anything, which if you've been following me this year, you know is actually crazy and unusual for me. Because a lot of people start a lot of things in May, and historically in the stitching community, that's what you do in May, is you start lots of crazy things. So for me, I have been already starting at least one thing, sometimes more, most of the time more, I think, every month so far. And I already have a couple things planned for June. So far, nothing is planned to start in May, including this stitch along because it technically starts in April. So May could be no new starts May, which will be crazy for me. So I'm going to focus on Knitting Woman and my Whip Go goals and this one. This will be my like bonus stitching throughout the day. If I can get like a length of thread every afternoon, that would be ideal. So anyways, let's show the stuff that you will get if you win the summer home giveaway that I'll draw for next week. They have a floss box, which is the biggest bulky thing that I would need to keep it in the States to make sure this. So it's a cardboard, really thick cardboard box. It's nice. It's got like a, where is it? Oh, it's magnetic down here. And it opens up to a little box. And they say it's sized for either RE floss spools or floss skeins. So you'll get one of those. I have 2 of those, so one can come to you. I will not put that back right now. Let's put that over here. There will be some bobbins. 1 pack for me, 1 pack for you. And these are, I can't remember how many are in here. It's like 20 maybe. Those are plastic, they're really sturdy. I requested Classic Colorworks floss, and the bonus they sent for me is a DMC pack. So you would get the DMC pack. They're very pretty. And the Classic Colorworks don't look all that variegated anyways, so it's probably to each the very, very similar colors. The fabric, which is this pretty, what's it called? It's 14 count Aida, but it's this pine board, white pine board, thin white pine board by Fabric Flair. So it's very cool stuff. So this is the fabric that will come on. You'll get one of these and a project bag. So this is a decent size project bag, and it's got a star and polka dots, a zipper on top, and a gusseted bottom. So this one, I have 2 of these, so 1 for you, 1 for me. I'll try to see if I can tell the size of this. Here's the size of the paper. We'll just show that. So this is a regular 8.5 by 11 paper, and that's how big it is compared to that. So it's probably like 14 inches wide. So yay! If you're interested in starting that with me and with the other folks at the Fat Quarter Shop, put the word summer in your comment and I'll draw a name next week. So, and if you get back to me right away, hopefully I can get it in the mail. It's like Monday or Tuesday. Well, probably not Monday because my videos don't usually go up until Tuesday. But if you get back, if you get back to me right away, maybe by Tuesday even, I could get it in the mail and that would get to you quickly. So, let's see. Yes, so I think that's everything ahead of time. So let's get into what I worked on this week. I did stitch, just didn't finish all of my goals. So my temperature pieces is what I usually start with to share with you. The one I'm working on for this year is Wander With Me with cat paws, and then the companion piece, Walk With Me with dog paws. I'm not doing the dog one, but I feel like I should show it every time because not everybody is a cat lover like me. So here is where I got to this week. This is, what do you call it? 27 count, sorry, 27 count Vintage Country Mocha, 1/1 full cross. And I probably should have picked a different color because the yellows and oranges are kind of blending in a little bit too much, but I'm not stopping. So I was thinking maybe like gray, pale green. I was trying to think what colors would look good because there's some white around the window and the fish tank, so I can't use white. I saw Kelly Ann Stitches, she's doing hers on black which works really well, but that's not for everybody. So yeah, tan, gotta be careful. So I wanted to make sure that the white popped, but then some of the lighter shades of yellows and oranges aren't showing up quite as much. But yeah, like I said last week, we got a little pop of almost summer there. These two paw prints, the pads are 95, I think. This one was 92. But then we got cool again, and even this one was like, I think, 62. So within just a week, that's the swing we have for our high temperature for the day. So kind of crazy. It's staying fairly cool this week, so I'm not sure. Still spring. It's not quite summer. It's just teasing us every little bit. So my other temperature piece had a little bit of work. This is temperature butterflies. Here's my mock-up. You can find all of these in my shop along with a lot of other ones. Other temperature pieces and other patterns on Etsy. This one is 32 count 1/1 full cross on some mystery gray-green even weave. And I got more done on the outline of April. I'm doing this one for the year 2002. So I'll do all the outline of the butterfly and then kind of fill it in color by color. That's how I've been doing these other ones. And I know all the temperatures ahead of time, but it's still fun to see how they actually play out when I stitch them, to see what the butterfly ends up looking like, because just having them numbers on paper doesn't really mean that much. So this is cool. And like February and March ended up being almost the same, which is kind of crazy. They had like cold bit in the middle of the month and warm, couple patches of super warm. So it was very interesting. Really cold patch in January. So this one I'm doing for the year we got married. So I'm going to put little like sparkle with my color blending filament maybe on my husband and my birthday and our anniversary date. So I think that'll be fun. And I heard of Candy over at 614 Stitcher. I just watched her March recap video. I'm a little bit behind. But she's doing the temperatures for the whole year this year, but she's thinking next year she'll do like a little collage of specific butterflies for specific people. So she's going to do like one for her birth month, one for her son's birth month, that kind of thing, and do like 4 for her and her family for just their particular birth month. And I'm like, for the year and the month, the month and the year for when you were born. So I think that's really cool. So I like that idea. I didn't comment on your video yet, but I like that. So my other travel piece that got a little bit of time this week, but not that much, because things and stuff, but this is Year in Stitches by the Victoria Sampler. This was last year's Mystery Stitch Along, and it's now available for sale on their website in the creative design section. Each one is separately, so you could even just do them separately if you liked only some of them. None of them really have any writing to indicate a month, so if you wanted to just do one because you like it and make a little pillow or something, you could totally do that. The creative designs section implies that there's no colors recommended, like no numbers or names. You pick your own colors. So I'm working on, this is all of it together, I'm working on April, and that's how far I got. This is 28 count Dove Gray Monaco, 2/2 for most of it. The satin stitches down here are 2 strands as well, but a lot of the specialty stitches are 1 strand. So there's some lazy daisies in there and straight stitches. There's going to be, I'm just starting the light green. I think I did all the dark green, which my dark green I chose is Balsam, Color and Cotton, I think, and it has like some brown in it too, so which gives it a nice variety. So I think I did 1 more length of border to close it up from what you had seen last time, and then started in on the dark green. So hopefully this week I can finish that light green. There's some grass and stems and some leaves here, and then starting on some other colors too. So that's how that's going. I work on that in the pickup line for the kids at school. And this past week, we just had some exceptions, I guess, I didn't have as much waiting time this week. I think this week should be fairly normal. We'll see. All right, Mill Hill Monday stitching. I'm now working on the honeybee. I started this last Monday for Charlene, her birthday, over at the Witchy Stitchers here on Flosstube. And she was starting a bee project, so I thought, well, I need to start a bee project anyways, and she usually participates in Mill Hill Monday, so it was perfect. So here is my start on honeybee. Yay! It's like 2 strands of black right in the middle there, and I think it might be all the black of regular cross stitches. I was really tempted to add the black beads as I go because there's a lot of black petite beads in here that used black thread. And all of the buttons and beads kits I've had so far recommend a 2-strand full cross for most of the stitching and 2 strands to attach the beads. So I figured, well, while it's on my needle, I could put the beads on, but I was using this more or less travel-y stitching. I was taking it to my in-laws and I was just like, I don't want to deal with beads. So went ahead and just did the full crosses. I'll have to go back through again to do the beads later. And there's some dark gray in between also, so I might want to just do all the stitching in the bee's body before adding all the black beads anyways. So that's my start. I hope to get to that for a little bit today as well, because it's Monday, for Mill Hill Monday. And let's see, let's go over to what I actually worked on. So also on Monday was Robin's birthday. And she was working on, I think, 3 different starts, and one of them, that was her plan anyways, and one of them was going to be a Nora Corbett. So I pulled out my Nora Corbett to work on with her, and this is the letter F fairy, doing a color conversion. So it's very similar shades in the F, but she is blue, and some of them are slightly different just because I'm using what I had in my stash. So I only got 1 length of thread completed, and I actually needed to finish it on Tuesday. So I got half a length of thread done on Monday and half a length of thread done on Tuesday. So it's pretty sad. And that's all my Tuesday stitching, was the half a length of thread to finish my Monday thread. So it was really bad. Monday and Tuesday were kind of full. But that's the way life goes sometimes. So here is where I got to on letter F fairy. Not that much more than last time, as you can imagine, but I finished the dark green up here in the leaves, and to finish my string, I came down here and there's like a vine that starts to come down over top of the F. So that's what I worked on. I was hoping to do more in the leaves. There's another main cross-stitching color up here, but alas, I didn't get to it. So, but it's more than I would have if I hadn't pulled it out at all. So yay! Progress is progress. So I'll keep working on that as and when I can. Probably not until, am I working on this at all in May? I don't think so, sadly. I think I'm just gonna work on Knitting Woman, Whip Go, and Amazing Grace and Sampler of Stitches in May. So, and then the summer home will be bonus stitching. So this one won't come out again until July. Yeah, I should. Oh, June, I mean, because that's May. So this will come out in June, and this niece's birthday is actually in June. So I will maybe try to give it a little bit of extra attention in June because of that. I should write that down so I don't forget. Let's see. I'm supposed to work on Waterfall in Yosemite for 3 days in hopes of getting 1,000 stitches for my Whip Go goal. Didn't get anything done on it on Tuesday, and did a decent amount on Wednesday and a paltry amount on Thursday, and that's it. So I did not get my Whip Go goal accomplished, so this one is still outstanding. Need to possibly this week. My thought is any bonus time I might have in the afternoon before this summer home sale starts on Friday, I'm hoping to try to knock this out. I got 548 stitches done over the 2 days, so I still need like 452 to meet my 1,000 stitch goal for Whip Go. So I need to, today my bonus stitching will be the honeybee. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I should do the math, which I'm not going to do in my head right now because I'm terrible at math in my head. But I'm divided up and maybe try to get that over the course of those 3 days as my bonus stitching in the afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. So here is where this is at now. I realized in editing I had forgotten to show it last week, but I put in a before picture then, and I'll put in one now. It's getting big though, so so if you can see, I mainly filled in here. I finished a color. I've kind of abandoned the typewriter method temporarily to finish the sky. So I finished this blue color in here, and then there's a lighter blue that's kind of starting in here that I was starting as well, and that's what's on my needle. So I'll finish more of that in here, and then there's some more of that in above here, above the waterfall. I think there's some of this blue got finished as well because I had some more thread on my needle. So once I finish this color in the sky, I think the sky will be done for the most part. So I'll go back to the typewriter method and start busting it out like that after this thread is finished. Or maybe not this thread, but when all of these holes right here are filled in, because that'll be the last of the sky. So it's cool. Gets the short end of the stick sometimes, I guess. And I don't know what it is with this one. I feel like I work on it a good amount, and I don't make as much progress in the same amount of time as other even full coverage pieces. Like my montages, I feel like they went a lot faster. And this one has a lot of, maybe I just like color changes too much. And when I'm working on the same color over and over and over and over, it's just kind of like, I slow down. I don't know. Anyways, I really hope I can bust out those other, the rest of those Whip Go stitches and check that one off. So we'll see how that goes. Wednesday, I talked with Desiree. It had been like 3 weeks maybe, just because she was busy, I was busy, etc. So we finally got to talk again, which was really nice. And we work on His Name is Jesus when we talk. So I got another length of thread done on this one during our call. Still chipping away at the center. This is on 28 count ivory Lugana 1/1 full cross. And I did the E and started in on the S with my one strand of thread. I'm using 3 different Victorian mottos with this one. Garden Rose maybe, and Sampler Blue, perhaps? I can't remember what the other one is. I never bring those up, so I always forget what they are, but I think, yeah, feel free to ask me if you want to know, but it is sometimes hard to get Victorian Motto Sampler Shop threads. They were, I did their thread of the month for like a few years back, and then stopped just because I had enough to fill a floss box, and I figured that was plenty, so I stopped. And I don't know that she redyes things from the older Floss of the Month clubs, so they might not be readily available. But really, that one is charted for 3 different colors. So if you want to just follow the designer's idea, you could do, pick your 3 colors, either 3 shades of the same color or 3 different colors, and just plot them in, and then they'll be arranged aesthetically pleasing throughout the piece based on the designer's placement of where those colors go, and then you don't even have to think about it. It's really nice. So, or you can do what Desiree is doing, and she's picking more than 3 colors, and every phrase she's kind of choosing a new color for that phrase based on what's around it. So depending on how color adventurous you are, you can do it a variety of different ways, or even monochrome. You could even go that way. So Friday I started the library Max Colors. I had this planned. I was really wondering if I should start it after all, because I feel like I don't want to start anything right now, but I had this planned since last year and I'm really looking forward to it. I was starting this with Katrina, the Crafty Cataloger. Terry Lee Crafts was going to start it, but she had some other goals she'd rather do, so she's waiting on hers. But I think it was Terry's fault. She showed me this pattern. I'm like, oh, I have to get that. But I went ahead and started it, and I got my 1,000 stitches. I was so excited. Last night, I was working on it, finished my string when it was time to be done stitching, and was pleasantly surprised to see my total for the day, and added it up, and I got 1,060 stitches. 1,060. So very excited about that. These are half stitches, so it definitely helps, but this is where I got to. This is my start. This is 28 count Rose Monaco, 2/1 half stitches. And I'm kind of doing what I did on the montage, the spring montage, where I was picking symbols within the first 10 by 10 grid rather than exclusively across the top, just so that it could be filled in more solidly. So there's actually like 6 or 7 colors in this first area, which is kind of hard to tell because they're all dark. But you can also start to see, this will be the first little strip of white paneling, and then there's some crisscrossing here over the library. Looked like it had doors that were like window doors with the books behind it. So this is the start of some like the window panes and stuff. So she is not down to like down here, but the halfway point of the pattern is like right here. So it's very small. It's cute. It's cute and small. It's a mini, but it is Max Colors. And I felt like the Max Colors on this one was not that much more. Like, I think Heaven and Earth Designs maxes out their like regular color version at 89 or 90 colors. And so this one I think was like 130 or something. It was not 287 or whatever some of the other Max Colors ones usually are. So this one had 124 colors. So Max Colors is not that much. Let's see what my stitching shelf is to give you a comparison, because that's also Max Colors. That's 238 colors. So it's not that much. So I figured because it's a mini, I wanted to get as much detail as possible with the smaller scale. So I went with the Max Color, and 124 is not that much, relatively speaking, especially when I'm working with a master set of DMC already. So I'm happy with that choice, and I'm happy with the size. It's very cute. I think it's like 8 by 12 or something. 8 by 10. To open this back up again. So on 28 count over 1, it is only, let's see, 8 by 14. So it is a little bit longer. So 8 by 14 on over 1 on 28 count. So pretty cute. So I guess this is about 4 inches across, because I got almost to the halfway point. Very nice. And let's see, that's all she wrote, it looked like. So I can go into my plans this week. That's all I worked on this past week. So this week I'm going to pull out another WhipGo item. I guess I could show you my boards again. It's been a while. I just printed out some Excel papers and stickered them into my journal. And so far everything has is going well. Like, all my fancy ladies are crossed off except for Nantucket Rose, which is what I'll be working on this week. And full coverage didn't quite get my Waterfall and Yosemite goal yet. And Flower Garden is coming up next week. So this one's a little bit harder to get this month, but we're gonna do it. I am happy with this WhipGo experience this year. It's my first year doing it, and I'm really enjoying it. So it gives me an excuse to pull these things out and make sure everything gets a significant chunk of time. Got a little hair tickling me there. So let's see. Nantucket Rose. This is by Lavender and Lace. This is what I'll be working on for the first 3 days this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because my whip goal for my fancy ladies is 3 days. So I'm also able to use it for a Stitch into the Wild challenge for something that's common, because this is a very common lavender and lace. A lot of people have it or are working on it. There's also an Earth Day challenge in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group that lasts all week, and you need to get 5 hours or 500 stitches on something. So I'm going to try to time myself on this one, and over the course of those 3 days, I'm hoping to get 5 hours. I don't like to count stitches on Mirabilias because they're not in Pattern Keeper. So if I can get 5 hours over the course of 3 days, that would give me a nice chunk of progress, and it works for Earth Day because there's Earth, a scene on the earth and plants and whatnot, so this will work for that. So that'll be fun. And I haven't worked on this much at all. I don't even know if I got to it last year. This is a needle minder I made from a brooch my aunt gave me, so that's fun. It's very heavy, but it's pretty. So here is all I have on this so far. This is 32 count silver linen by MCG Textiles, 2/2. And I'm doing a Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea red hair conversion. And I also have, I'm going to change the house to be Anne of Green Gables-esque. Where was it? It was right here. I had it in here and I frogged it last time I worked on it because I had flipped the green and the white from what they were in the story. So I recharted my conversion for that. So I need to make sure that's going to look good. So I might work on the house. At some point, I'd like to maybe get some more done up here to get some of the top done. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this, but I think I'd like to get the house done and redo what the conversion that I had made, just to get that figured out. Because I think last time I worked on this, all I did was rip out stitches, which that's not any fun. We need some forward progress on this one. So hopefully 5 hours will do that, and I'll make some progress on Anne of Avonlea. Because she reminds me of, if you've seen the movies, she reminds me of Anne in the first scene of the second movie, the Anne of Avonlea movie, where she's on the beach writing her story and she faints and gets, not really faints, but, you know, swoons and gets all of her papers blow away. Like, that's kind of the scene that I picture when I see Nantucket Rose. So I had to make her a redheaded girl, and so that's done. But now I need to change the house to match Anne of Green Gables. So, okay. And then Thursday, I'm going to work on my first day on my anniversary piece. I will work on this another 2 days, hopefully next week as well. But this is by The Window in the Morning by Soda Stitch. And I have been converting it to a nighttime scene to go along with an Ernest Hemingway quote. So mine is darker with a nighttime scene, and I have changed some colors. So I'm hoping I might get into the couch conversion this time. So hopefully that goes well, and I like what's happening. So here's my starting point. This is 18 count Devosa, I'm pretty sure. 2/1. It's like a really fat even weave. And last time I worked on it for the March brackets, and I got a big chunk of this area finished. Spent some extra time converting her hair so that I'm happy with that. And so this time the next highest things are up here on the couch. So I do want to get that, you know, bring that down even with some of this other stuff. So wish me luck on getting that couch conversion sorted out. So hopefully I can get that done on Thursday. Happy with the conversion, not the whole couch done. That won't happen, but I had some good suggestions too. If my tan beigey conversion doesn't work, or I'm not happy with it, I could try some other colors. So we'll see on that one what I end up doing. I think I'm going to start with the beigey conversion I have that I think kind of matches the curtain color, and then if for some reason it falls apart, I might go back to square one and pick a color. But I don't want it to blend in with their clothes and stuff either. I'd rather it fade out than blend it, than stick out. So we'll have to see. Then Friday and Saturday, I'm gonna pull out sampler of stitches to try to get caught up even more. This is by the Drawn Thread, and I'm trying to do a year-long stitch along with this, where we do one letter every 2 weeks. So this coming weekend, I should be finishing this whole section. H and I should be finished by the end of this weekend, if I were to stay caught up with what I had written in my planner. I have through G finished, so H and I is a bit of a stretch to finish in 2 days, but I'll do what I can. Hopefully at least finish H and get a chunk of I. Icing on the cake if I can finish both of them, but we'll see how my weekend turns out, if that's possible. Here's a close-up of GHI. They come in separate patterns for each 3 letters. So these are the 2. And this, I mean, they're not that hard. These are cross stitches. These are all back stitching. This is back stitching. I love to back stitch, so that'll go quickly. So just these ones here in the middle are gonna be specialty stitches. So it might not take that long. These grapes took me forever, so it doesn't look like these ones are gonna be as hard or time consuming, but we'll see. I don't know about that one. I don't know what's going on there. So we'll see on that one. I'm using the called for everything on this, and this is my starting point. 30 count custard cream linen, mostly 1/2. 1 strand for everything really, except for occasional, I think there's been 2 or 3 specialty stitches that ask for you to use 2 strands. But everything else, it tells you to use 1, and I'm using NPI silks that are called for, and yeah. It's very muted, not quite as bold of colors as I'm used to, but it's pretty. So I'm having fun with that, and it is fun to kind of try a million different specialty stitches and just kind of see how they look. Most of the time it's fun. Every once in a while it's a little frustrating, like figuring it out, but most of the time it's fun. And then Sunday, I'm gonna get back to working on Amazing Grace on Sunday. Hopefully I'll get a little bit more time on this than I did 2 weeks ago. Because in a perfect world, I would have, you know, all of this finished, the first 2 chunks. And I have this verse done and just a little bit of the top here. So I actually have quite a bit left to get caught up, which is not gonna happen in 1 day, but I'll do what I can. And then I'm bringing this out every Sunday in May. So hopefully I'll get this section done and into, you know, half of this in May, so that hopefully I can finish this and gift it in June. That's my goal. This started out as a big toe, my big toe designs, and then I converted it to backstitch letters and only 3 of the motifs. So here's my starting point. This is 28 count Jobelin in ivory, 1/1 full cross, and 1 strand of backstitching. So it's very tiny. It's hard to see in the camera because the camera doesn't focus that well, but it is legible in person, and it's very sweet. So this is the whole width, and it's not going to be very big, so I'm excited about that. So hopefully I'll have a nice little chunk to show you by working on this for 1 more day. And I think that's everything I have for you today, so not too shabby. It's pretty quick, I think, actually. So write the word summer in your comment if you're in the US and you want to be entered for that summer home giveaway. So hopefully I can get that to you before it starts on next Friday, the 29th. And let me know what you're working on in May. I've already heard a few ideas of what other Flosstubers are doing. I'm behind, so I'm probably missing a lot of them that people have said and I just haven't heard yet. But if you're planning to do something unusual for you in May, but does not involve new starts, let me know, because I'm not going to start anything in May. And I know, I think Carolyn Czuk Stitch, she's going to do a finish focus in May, which I think she did last year. I think is that right? And really liked that. So that's another option if you don't want to start things, you can try to finish things. So or do what I'm doing and try to focus on something, which I know I won't finish Knitting Woman in May, but I think it'd be really nice to get a huge chunk of progress done on that. So yeah, so let me know if you're doing something of that nature where you're focusing on something or finishing something, not just starting something. And with that, I think I will sign off and wish you a wonderful week. Hopefully you have some nice chances to stitch and just be thankful for the time you get, because sometimes life throws us curveballs. Yeah, and happy stitching. Bye.